The first thing I'd like to say is I feel very fortunate to be working at such a great university. The excitement of this game, the excitement that the buzz it generated on campus, the support that we've gotten. This is a great academic institution. We have a fantastic faculty. It's a private school. These kids come here. They're going to get a great education, but what we want to create is an environment where they also feel connected to the athletic department, and they can show their support for our football program, our men's basketball program, the women's program, by coming out and enjoying an event like this. And to have the students camp out overnight, to have them in long lines, waiting to get into the game. It's the first time in the university's basketball history that we've been able to create that kind of buzz. And it's great to have the large number of media here covering this event so that you can tell the story about, this school is not necessarily known as a basketball school. It's really known as the #1 academic institution in the state of Florida. And I'm very, very proud because I'm very academically oriented. Our guys graduate, and it's important that people know that these guys are not athletes, they are student athletes. And that our senior class, most of them have already graduated, and the ones who haven't will graduate in May. Duke has a great basketball program. Mike Krzyzewski is the winningest coach of all time. We have the utmost respect for them. Our guys were very well prepared. We had a week between Boston College and tonight, and we needed that time. First, to give our guys some needed rest because we were a little bit beat up. It also gave us a chance to prepare the way we needed to play tonight, defensively and offensively. And then I normally, when I hear from Reggie Johnson, it's normally through a text. He called me this morning, and he basically was jumping through the phone. I was like, he was so excited to tell me that the doctors cleared him to play. And quite honestly, I didn't think he was going to be back until sometime in February. He hadn't practiced one time since December 20th. Not once. All he'd been doing is shooting on the side because he could shoot and he could condition. And our strength and conditioning coach was running him constantly, but he couldn't be in any contact. So tonight was the first time he's been out there since December 21st. And it was great to have him. But this was a total team effort on our part. Shane Larkin was great, Duran Scott was great, Kenny Kaji was great. They all executed. Julian Gamble rebounded, defended Mason Plumlee very, very well. We got in a little bit of foul trouble, which concerned me. But in the end, the result was we were able to play at a very, very high level for 40 minutes.
Did you ever look at the clock, look at the scoreboard, and think, this is kind of amazing what we're doing tonight?
I was looking at the score clock the entire game. I was looking at the score and I was thinking, I wish there were less time left in the game. But it was one of those games that we told our team, Duke is always the aggressor. I mean, they're just so good. If you look at their stats, offensively and defensively, they're so good at both ends of the court. It's staggering. So you have to be that way to compete with them. You can't turn the ball over. They're going to score. You can't take bad shots because they're going to rebound, outlet, and score before your defense ever gets back. And for us to defend them as well as we did in the first half, I think gave our guys a lot of confidence in the second half. And as Shane said, and Duran said, we kept believing that the defense was the key, and we had to keep them out of the lane and contest their threes.
Coach, I mean, everyone on the team believes in themselves, and you believe in the team and all that. We totally understand that. But when you look at that score, I mean, is that surprising still to you, of all the games that you've coached, I mean, that you could beat Duke by that kind of a margin?
I guess the expression is, the score takes care of itself. Some team plays really, really well, and the other team doesn't play so well, then there's a larger margin. Am I surprised by the margin? Of course. Would I have been surprised if it was the other way, that Duke won 90-63? I would have been disappointed. But what Reggie said is true. You got to play the game. You got to bring your game that day, and whatever happens, happens. And you don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to look back and say, "Oh, I could have played harder. I could have played smarter."
Coach, as a father figure, obviously, and as the head coach, you get a little nervous when all those students rush the court.
No, actually, I told someone, I'd like to see students rush the court after every win. I do. Did you see last night, Wake Forest beat NC State, the students rushed the floor. You know, part of being in college is being in an exciting environment. Students, you remember when you were in college how much stress you felt about earning good grades and trying to pass a class? Or, to get out and, no, you don't remember that? I'm a lot older than you and I remember. It's stressful, you know, they've got a lot of responsibilities on their back, and so to be able to come out here and enjoy an athletic event and rush the court with their friends, those are memories, you know, those are things that you remember for a lifetime.
Coach, you like numbers, and you were mentioning about Duke being the aggressor. So to hit them with a 25-1 run, you find that staggering?
Yeah, you know, the thing we all realize is it's one game.
Right.
You know, things change. You know, what the player said is what I told him after the game. Look at the next thing that happens is coaches from our opponents will get their team's attention right away and say, look what they did against Duke. So we're now going to get everybody's, not only their best effort, the greatest energy those players can bring to the floor. And I've seen it as a coach, as a head coach, and as an assistant, the kind of reaction you get. And our players need to understand that and know we've got to play hard and harder than the opponent if we want to continue to play well.
Is that why you address Florida State so quickly after?
You know, I do that after every game. When one game's over, you're immediately, you know, can't do anything about the past. In the present, you got to start focusing on the next thing.
Coach, with everything that's been going on with the NCAA over the last 22 months, and obviously what happened today, how much uplifting was a win like this? You know, just to kind of erase that out of everybody's memory bank and move forward?
Well, as I said, I think this is a great memory. You know, and people will talk about this. One of the things I did an interview. And one of the radio broadcasters said to me, you know, it's exciting that you're playing Duke, and it's exciting they're the #1 team in the country. But he said for the first time ever, people are talking more about Miami basketball than they're talking about the opponent. And that's our goal, to get people excited about our basketball program.
Coach, can you talk about Durant Scott's defense on Seth Curry? I thought that was a real key to the first half.
Yeah, it really was. You know, Durant is a great competitor, and he loves a challenge. The greater the challenge, the greater he plays. And Seth we're shooting 57% from three. I mean, he's automatic. One of the things I told the coaches is I recruited his dad, Del Curry. And we know Stefan. I was an assistant at Davidson for 5 years, and Bob McKillop, the head coach, is a very good friend of mine. I watched his brother play, and Seth buried us at George Mason. He had, I think, 23 his freshman year against us and beat a very good George Mason team at Liberty. So I have the utmost respect for him and his family and their ability to put the ball in the basket. Durant had a terrific defensive effort tonight.
Coach, could you just talk about, you know, obviously the emotion in the building, what it was like, and how much it's going to help? I mean, Sunday is already basically sold out too, so it seems like you know, people have caught on.
Well, I think one of the highlights for me this year was, and I don't know how President Shalala arranged this, but our home game against Maryland was Sunday night before the second semester began, and all the students were back. And they came back and really rocked the house that night. And that was a hard-fought contest, very, very physical. And we were able to win. And those students were a major part of that. They really had an impact on our players. And to get them back again and again and have that electricity in the arena, you know, the pep band playing, the students rocking and rolling in the stands, the players high-fiving them as they stand outside waiting to get in, that's all a part of having, you know, building the program in the right direction.
Did you get a chance to go see the students?
I did. I brought them donuts. My staff and I went out. My wife went to Costco. She shopped for Krispy Kreme, and we brought, I don't know, 300 donuts out there.
When was that, Coach? This morning?
I didn't eat any, by the way.
Was that this morning, Coach? When was it?
And they had camped out overnight, so I brought them about 12:30. I thought it was lunch. I didn't know if they get a chance to get away and eat lunch.
When Reggie came out the first time, did you think about Willis Reed at all?
We talked about that before. You know, one of the things, Reggie is a character. After he told me he was going to be available to play, I asked him, you know, do you want to announce it now? No, we'll wait. Wait for the most dramatic time to make the announcement. I was cool with that. So you're going to let your teammates know? Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Coach.